Sports. Coming up, we'll see two teams looking to bounce back from disappointing seasons a year ago.
Well, we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like. Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. Well, look who's bringing them out. The Heisman Trophy winner in 2016 making his first career NFL start. From Louisville, Lamar Jackson.
And he hits the league as one of the most dynamic prospects we've seen in a long time. The youngest Heisman Trophy winner ever. And people are asking the question, how does his game translate to the NFL? I think the NFL is going to ask, how do we slow this guy down? He's going to bring a dynamic that hasn't been seen very often in this league.
First carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Dontari Poe in on the stop. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
On second down, here's Jackson. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
No. Check. Patriot.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, Jackson. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
And when you think about Luke Kuechly playing middle linebacker, you think to yourself, prototype of what a middle linebacker should be. Plays the run, plays the pass, but his experience and his leadership. When he's on the field, his Carolina Panthers teammates think that they can win any ball game they play.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
A first down carry by Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there.
The first NFL touchdown pass for the former Heisman winner, Lamar Jackson. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well,
and the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
and that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Here's Newton. And there's the first NFL catch for the Maryland man, DJ Moore. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 23 yards on the play.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the... With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. From the 50, Newton. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Steps away to his left. Fighting ahead at the 15. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you can kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to see where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Throwing on third down, Newton. To the right side, and he's got more complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's Austin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Des Bryant now, he gears up to help lead this offense again. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. This is Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Going up top. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 21-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. We turn our attention to the Panthers as they come out here on offense, and it's been an interesting 3-year run. You look back to their Super Bowl appearance, then they dropped to 6-10 a couple of years ago. Last year back in the playoffs with 11 wins. So what in 2018?
I think a continuation of 2017 and an expansion on what we saw. It's always going to be a tough-minded team. They want to run the ball inside, and Cam Newton can be your short yardage runner as well as play the quarterback position and throw it. But they want to open things up. Remember, they drafted Christian McCaffrey last year, want to get him the ball in open space. They ended up drafting DJ Moore this year, so they want to be more explosive down the field throwing the football. And Luke Kuechly is a heck of a building block on defense. This is a team that fully expects to contend in the NFC South, and they think they can go much deeper in the playoffs. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Newton now to throw. Now the ball comes loose. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On first down, Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Newton on third down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, wherever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to rifle one. This is caught inside the 15. They give him a gain of 37. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
If he's got a DJ Moore prior to him entering the NFL, this is something you saw a lot on tape at the University of Maryland. They had to find ways to get him the football. Hitches, screens, those jailbreaks or tunnels, whatever it took, get the ball in his hands, and he worked like a running back after he caught it.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Whoa! It still won't go down. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Des Bryant, 31 yards. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On second down, McCaffrey. And he's got some space here. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The Panthers on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Newton. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. There, guys. Here's Michael Pilardi now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Cowboys on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is third down and 12. Now it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And the Panthers coming out now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Flushed out right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jalen Smith leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now it's Newton. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, it's Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Cowboys.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0, and nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that will extend this big lead. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone, and he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And the Panthers, who were the least penalized team in the entire NFL last year, come up here on a 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Newton. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Cowboys, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And